Welcome to RES Knowledge Center. Today I am going to tell you some facts about the Quit India Movement 1942. The Quit India Movement, also known as the August Movement, was a movement launched at the Bombay session of the All India Congress Committee by Mahatma Gandhi on 8 August 1942 during World War II, demanding an end to British rule in India. The Varda resolution is also known as Quit India resolution. This resolution was ratified in the All India Congress Committee at Bombay on August 7, 1942. On 7 to 8 August 1942, the All India Congress Committee met in Bombay and ratified the Quit India resolution. The resolution had the following mandatories. It demanded for an immediate end to British rule in India. It declared commitment-free India to defend itself against imperialism and fascism. It demanded formation of provisional government of India after withdrawal of British, sanctioning a civil disobedience movement against British rule. Mahatma Gandhi advised following instructions to various sections of the public. First, government servants, do not resign your job but proclaim loyalty to INC. Soldiers, be with the army but refrain from firing on compatriots. Peasants, pay the agreed upon rent if the landlords or zamindars are anti-government. If they are pro-government, do not pay the rent. Students can leave studies if they are confident enough. Princes support the people and accept the sovereignty of them. People of the princely estates support the ruler only if he is anti-government, declare themselves as part of the Indian nation. Here a non-violent mass struggle under the leadership of Mahatma Gandhi was sanctioned in the August Kranti Maidan. Gandhiji called for do or die. On August 8, Bapu addressed the people from Mumbai's Gwalior Tank Maidan. Here is a mantra, a short one, that I give you. Imprint it on your hearts so that in every breath you give expression to it. The mantra is do or die. We shall either free India or die trying. We shall not live to see the perpetuation of our slavery, Gandhiji said. Aruna Asif Ali hoisted the tricolour on the ground and the Quit India movement had been officially announced. While Mahatma Gandhi gave the clarion call of Quit India, the slogan was coined by Yusuf Meherli, a socialist and trade unionist who also served as mayor of Mumbai. Note, in 1928, it was Yusuf Meherli who had coined the slogan Simon Go Back. Causes of Quit India movement. The Second World War had started in 1939. Japan, which was the part of the Axis powers that were opposed to the British in the war, were gaining on to the northeastern frontiers of India. The British had abandoned their territories in Southeast Asia and had left their population in the lurch. This act did not garner much faith among the Indian population, who had doubts about the British ability to defend India against Axis aggression. Gandhiji also believed that if the British left India, Japan would not have enough reason to invade India. Apart from hearing news about British setbacks in the war, the wartime difficulties such as high prices of essential commodities fostered resentment against the British government. In the meanwhile, crucial political events took place in England. Chamberlain was succeeded by Churchill as Prime Minister, and Conservatives who assumed power in England did not have a sympathetic stance towards the claims made by the Congress. In order to pacify the Indians in the circumstance of worsening war situation, the Conservatives were forced to concede some of the demands made by the Indians. On 8th August, the Viceroy issued a statement that has come to be referred to as the August Offer. There were militant outbursts happening at several places in the country which got channelized with the Quit India movement. The economy was also in tatters as a result of World War II. The failure of the Cripps mission to guarantee any kind of a constitutional remedy to India's problems also led to the INC calling for a mass civil disobedience movement. Cripps mission. Japanese aggression in Southeast Asia, keenness of British government to secure the full participation of India in the war, mounting pressure for China and the United States, as well as from the Labour Party in Britain, led British Prime Minister Winston Churchill to send Cripps mission to India in March 1942. Under Stafford Cripps, the mission was sent to resolve the Indian question of a new constitution and self-government. Main proposals of the missions were an Indian union with a dominion status would be set up. It would be free to decide its relations with the Commonwealth and free to participate in the United Nations and other international bodies. A constituent assembly would be convened after the war to frame a new constitution. Members of the assembly partly elected by the provincial assemblies and partly nominated by the princes. Any province not willing to accept the constitution would be given the same full status as the Indian Union, designed to appease the Muslim League call for Pakistan. The constitution-making body and the British government would negotiate a treaty to effect the transfer of power and to safeguard racial and religious minorities. The Indian National Congress, however, was not satisfied as its demand for immediate complete independence had been rejected. Mahatma Gandhi said that Cripps' offer of dominion status after the war was a post-dated check drawn on a failing bank. Response to Quit India movement. The next day, on 9th August 1942, Gandhiji with members of the Congress Working Committee and the other Congress leaders were arrested by the British government under the Defence of Indian rules. Bapu was kept at the Aga Khan Palace in Pune and later in the Yerwada jail. It was during this time that Kasturba Gandhi died at the Aga Khan Palace. New leaders like Aruna Asaf Ali emerged out of the vacuum of leadership. Underground activities were taken by leaders that included Ram Manohar Lohia, J.P. Narayan, Aruna Asaf Ali, Biju Patnaik, Sucheta Kriplani etc., which later emerged as prominent leaders. The Working Committee, the All India Congress Committee and the 4 provincial Congress committees were declared unlawful associations under the Criminal Law Amendment Act of 1908. The assembly of public meetings were prohibited under Rule 56 of the Defence of Indian Rules. The arrest of Mahatma Gandhi and the Congress leaders led to mass demonstrations throughout India. Strikes were called in many places. The British swiftly suppressed many of these demonstrations by mass detentions. More than 1 lakh people were imprisoned. Thousands were killed and injured in the wake of the Quit India movement. Women took active participations in the movement. Female leaders like Usha Mehta helped set up an underground radio station which led to the awakening about the movement. Aruna Asaf Ali, popularly known as the Grand Old Lady of the independence movement, is known for hoisting the Indian flag at the Gwalior Tank Maidan in Mumbai during the Quit India movement. Some parties did not support the movement. There were opposition from the Muslim League, the Communist Party of India. As a result, the government revoked the ban on the party. The League was not in favor of the British leaving India without partitioning the country first. In fact, Jinnah asked more Muslims to enlist in the army to fight the war. The Hindu Mahasabha openly opposed the call for the Quit India movement and boycotted its official under the apprehension that the movement would create internal disorder and will endanger internal security during the war. Vinayak Damodar Savarkar, the then president of the Hindu Mahasabha, wrote a letter titled "Stick to Your Posts," in which he instructed Hindu Sabhyatis who happened to be members of municipalities, local bodies, legislatures, or those serving in the army to stick to their posts across the country and not to join the Quit India movement at any cost. The Communist Party supported the war waged by the British since they were allied with the Soviet Union. Despite the communist group's lack of support to the movement, but the workers provided support by not working in the factories. The movement had less support in the princely estates as the princes were strongly opposed and funded the opposition. Subhash Chandra Bose was by this time organizing the Indian National Army and the Azad Hind government from outside the country. Many students paid more attention to Subhash Chandra Bose, who was in exile and supporting the Axis powers. C. Rajagopalachari resigned from the ANC since he was not in favor of complete independence. In general, the Indian bureaucracy did not support to Quit India movement. Many Indian businessmen profiting from heavy wartime spending did not support the Quit India movement. The only outside support came from the Americans as President Franklin D. Roosevelt pressured the British Prime Minister Winston Churchill to give to some of the Indian demands. There were strikes and demonstrations all over the country. In some places, parallel governments were also set up. Example, Balia, Tamluk, Satara, etc. The chief areas of the movement were UP, Bihar, Maharashtra, Bengal and Karnataka. Although most demonstrations had been suppressed by 1944. Upon his release in 1944, Mahatma Gandhi continued his resistance and went on a 21-day fast. Importance of Quit India movement. The Quit India movement, more than anything, united the Indian people against British rule. However, though the movement was quelled, it changed the character of the Indian freedom struggle. With the masses rising up to articulate as they had never before, the British masters would have to quit India. It changed the nature of political negotiations with British, ultimately paving the way for India's independence. By the end of the Second World War, Britain's place in the world had changed dramatically and demand for independence could no longer be ignored. Rest in next video. For more and more videos and also to boost your knowledge, please subscribe, like and share our channel RES Knowledge Center, Hub of Knowledge. Best of luck to all of you.